The Man in the Attic. I lived with my mom, Sarah, in a sharply white 2-story house about 8 miles from the city and half a mile away from a red diner that stayed open all week long. The house stood alone, bordered only by the road and a vast forest. At 16, I was homeschooled while Mom worked as a teacher in the city. Every morning she'd wake up at 6, start her old blue Jeep around 7, and drive off. She wouldn't be back until 7:30 in the evening. It was winter and I hated being alone in that house. The place had a tall, eerie attic that neither Mom nor I ever ventured into. There was something about it, the strange way the bricks seemed to stretch upward endlessly, the unsettling shadows it cast on the staircase. It gave off an oppressive vibe like it was watching, waiting. The attic wasn't the only thing. Weird stuff happened when I was alone. Sometimes I'd get the feeling of being watched. Food disappeared from the fridge. The drapes in the upstairs rooms would shift as if brushed by invisible hands. Even the walls seemed alive, their cold whiteness whispering faintly when the house was silent. At night, nightmares plagued me. One day I was downstairs watching TV when I heard it, the creak of a door opening upstairs. My stomach knotted and a chill swept over me. I grabbed my phone, staring at the screen as if it could protect me. Then, I heard a footstep. Slowly, I turned and caught sight of a shadow at the top of the stairs. I bolted. My hands were trembling as I threw on a jacket, shoved open the front door, and stumbled outside. Before running, I glanced back at the house. Through the window, I saw someone, a figure, moving along the staircase. My breath hitched. Without thinking, I scrambled over the fence and hit the snowy ground on the other side. I looked back again. This time I saw something that chilled me to my core. The curtains in the attic swayed, slowly, deliberately, as if someone, or something, was watching me. My heart pounded as I fumbled with my phone, dialing Mom's number. She didn't pick up. There was no way I was going back into that house. I started walking toward the diner, my steps crunching in the snow. It felt like an eternity, but I finally made it. I burst through the door, shivering and wide-eyed. "There's a man in my house," I told the lady behind the counter. She raised an eyebrow. "A man in your house?" "Yes," I stammered, my words tumbling out. "He was on the stairs, and the attic curtains moved." The lady nodded firmly. "We'll call the police. You did the right thing coming here." When the police finally arrived, 2 officers went into the house with their guns drawn. I waited outside, frozen with fear. Moments later, chaos erupted. A pale man in a gray shirt sprang out of the attic, slashing one officer's neck and stabbing the other before fleeing into the night. Backup arrived too late. Inside the attic, they found a chilling scene. Knives, a makeshift bed, stolen food, and a notebook filled with horrifying plans. Mom and I left that house for good. We moved into a small apartment in the city, hoping to leave the nightmares behind. At first, everything was fine, but soon we started hearing faint knocks at the door late at night. One night, half asleep, I went to check. Through the peephole, I saw it, a shadowy figure, barely visible in the darkness, knocking softly. It felt like the nightmare wasn't over. It had followed us.